Hey y'all, this is Lydia. I am going to do an activations reading just in celebration of this new oracle deck I got called the Sacred Geometry Activations Oracle. And it's a beautiful deck. I really love just the backside of it with the flower of life within the circle. And transition. It's funny, this was in the morning reading that I did for myself. Perception, and let's do one more. Crown chakra, which is channeling. It says here, the frequency of the crown chakra, the violet flower of life, supports our spiritual connection to the universe and our ability to transmute negative energy into light. Which is, going with these two other cards, transition and perception, there is this feeling too that how we're viewing our reality, and not even our reality outside of ourselves, there's something going on within us transitionally where we're moving this energy around. And I'm noticing in my own self as well, just these energies are shifting, and it's drastically shifting my perspective and the way, and my perception. And the way I'm noticing it in particular is my creativity and feeling, it's a new frequency I've actually never experienced before. When we age and we get older and we go through life experiences, and even through the astrology we've been going through lately, we've naturally been upgrading, and there's been all these spiritual upgrades. And I'm sure many of you have been feeling that you've gone through a lot of changes the last 2 years, at least 2 years. And lately, though, the transition we're going through is a little bit more, I don't know, it's refined, it's more detailed, it's more specific, it feels like, of perhaps unlocking a creative potential that's deeply connected to our perception and how we view ourselves. And this is connected, I feel, to Chiron moving into the second decan of Aries. It took, I think, 3 or 4 years for Chiron to transit the first 10 degrees of Aries. It spends about 9 years in Aries. And so now that we're in that second decan, the next 10 degrees, we're starting to apply a lot of the healing we've done to our ego and our survival issues. We're starting to apply it to our day-to-day lives. And there's this sense, too, that now that we're being called to apply all this healing we've been going through, it's sort of catalyzing and integrating in a way that's kind of, it's ineffable. I can't quite, put words around it, but it's definitely linked to perception. And it's definitely linked to a sort of energetic connection and us being able to channel more freely universal energies and in unlocking our creative potential in a certain way. And this can vary from individual to individual, but the creativity I'm speaking of can be artistic, but I mean, we create everything. We create our lives. We create the energy we feel within ourselves. We're constantly creating. There seems to be an unlocking of creative potential and creative power where we're seeing more and we're understanding more on a cellular level how we create, and we're starting to tap into some different energies and some new energies. And this is a transition we are in now. And another reason I decided to do this reading is because we're halfway through this Venus-Mars portal we've been in. And this is the last week of it. It's about a 2-week portal. And this is, Mars, the divine masculine, and Venus, the divine feminine, that is creation energy, that is our creativity. And us as creator beings, that creative potential within us, when we have those two energies within ourselves in balance. So I'm getting to here that it's also a rebalancing. If you can see here, there's like this harmony to this S curve where it is quite balanced. And I feel that too. It's a really beautiful energy, but it's also, we're feeling it, but we're not, it's like, for me, it's when I wake up in the morning, especially, or when I go to bed at night, I'm feeling these energies shift and these energies morph, and I'm starting to get tastes of what's to come, but it's not something I can form into words. And this is part of this integration we're going through and this transition we're going through, and it's dealing heavily with our perception. And I wanted to pull also, just to get some clarifier cards, I'm going to pull 3 from the Fountain Tarot. Oh. The sun popped out. And okay, so we have the Queen of Coins, which is the Queen of Pentacles. We have the Seven of Swords, and the first to pop out was the Sun, which is our creativity, our playfulness. And the creativity we also experience as children, and perhaps even tapping into that too, like childhood gifts coming back online. And this is dealing with perhaps things that have been hidden to us or that we've forgotten about, that is coming into the light, like, oh yeah, I forgot I did that, or I forgot I used to write poetry, or I used to, invent games, and being in that childhood playfulness where you weren't trying to be playful, it was just a natural thing. That's coming online in a new way. And the Queen of Coins, especially in this deck, deals with trusting our ability to show up in the world, and trusting our abilities in terms of our self-worth and value and what we're capable of, and knowing that we're capable and being in that sovereignty, and not really hiding either. This, these two cards next to each other, it's like one is dealing very heavily with hidden energies, and there's a sense too that a lot can't hide anymore. A lot's being revealed. And for a while, it's been a lot of heavy stuff, especially with these Pluto transits, of us just going through truths being revealed. It could be happening within us. It could be happening outside of us. We're finding out information that could be hurtful or painful or completely change the course of our lives. But there seems to, especially with Mars and Venus finally approaching Pluto together, and they're going to cross at 0 degrees Aquarius in a week. And that's crossing on the 0 degree point is where Jupiter and Saturn crossed at the end of 2020, kicking off a 20-year reality where we're in this very Aquarian reality. And there seems to, like, it's go time. It's time for us to take all these energies we've been working with, all these ideas we've been having, all these shifts we've been feeling, and starting to, even if it's baby steps, taking steps to start grounding that in, and to really trust again and believe in our capabilities and our ability to show up in the world, and to really see our visions through, to see the changes and the restructuring we're going through to actually come into some sort of material form. There's this sense too that a lot of what this portal is showing us is us really bringing those energies together, that divine masculine, that divine feminine, so that we can really hit the ground running and step forward boldly. And that's been a major thing coming up lately, is boldness and being in our boldness, which isn't necessarily supported in an Aquarian reality. The boldness is very Leoan, which is the opposite of Aquarius. So we're finding that, even with celebrities showing a lot of self-love. I know Adele got some flack for saying that, she loved being a woman in the industry making music. That self-love was really rejected by our current reality, because Aquarius is, the opposite of self-love. It's this collective energy of, you don't stand out too much. You don't shine your light. It's not all about you. There's people, there's the world. We have to share and be inclusive, which is valid as well. But what the Leo and Aquarius axis teaches us is that each individual love and light is part of a collective whole. And when we bring that love to the world, that is the highest expression of that Leo Aquarius axis, that it's not one or the other, it's the two together, that we shine our love in the world unapologetically, knowing that we are part of a greater whole, and that love that we shine impacts the greater whole in a positive, beautiful way. So again, these transitions we're going through is definitely unlocking that passion, unlocking that boldness. Again, it's not necessarily supported in Aquarian reality, so it's something we have to create within ourselves. Even in the astrology, there isn't a whole lot of potent fire energy. There hasn't been one for a while. And even when Jupiter hits Aries later this year in the spring, it's going to be joining Chiron, which is going to amplify our wounds and ask us to heal even on a bigger level. So that's going to be the only, big outer-ish planet in fire, and it's going to be with Chiron. So this is definitely also about stepping into our boldness in order to create that fire within ourselves, because we are creator beings and we do have that creative power. So I'm sending love and wishing you well. Bye.